There are 107 positive cases among inmates and staff, and 4 inmates have died. 10 Investigates first told you on Monday about one woman's fight to get her husband protection while he's behind bars. Now, as Jennifer Titus tells us, lawmakers are pushing Governor DeSantis for help.
He is a nonviolent, low-level offender. He's a minimum risk.
Brittany Graham is fighting to help her husband, Levante, who is in prison in the panhandle of Florida. Years ago, Levante had his spleen removed. Today, that poses a big threat and could be a matter of life and death.
It produces white blood cells and antibodies to fight bacteria and viruses and any kind of, even a common cold.
Brittany and her local legislators have emailed the Department of Corrections asking about a conditional medical release. They emailed back saying an inmate has to be terminally ill or permanently incapacitated.
This is like an extra full-time job for me.
10 Investigates reached out to the DOC too, and then what feels like a game of ping pong took place. We asked if any changes have been made related to COVID-19 to conditional medical release. They told us that information would be found at the site of the Florida Commission on Offender Review. We emailed DOC back after the commission told us that the DOC is who recommends inmates for medical release. They then sent us Florida's statute on conditional medical, which outlined what we already knew. Patients terminally ill or permanently incapacitated. They said no changes to the statute have been made.
A conditional medical release is extremely rare, extremely hard to get.
10 Investigates has learned that in 2018, only 27 inmates were released for conditional medical reasons. In 2019, 45 were released.
Absolutely needs to be revised and updated, even short of a pandemic.
Representative Carlos Smith says the change needs to be made now more than ever.
More inmates get infected with COVID-19, the more our corrections officers will also become infected, which means more Florida residents outside of our state prisons will also be put in jeopardy.
And Representative Smith says he's spoken to the governor about this over the phone, urging him to sign an executive order that would expand conditional medical release to the more sick and elderly. We've also reached out to the governor's office about this, and we are still waiting to hear back.